What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy Myron McRae, aka Tornado McRae, across the scours of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. So I'm not gonna waste too much of your time. We're gonna get into the docket. And I know my predecessor Joshua spoke about this gentleman, but we have to talk about James Pearce Jr. because I am seeing a lot more articles resurface right now saying that Carolina could potentially be bringing him back home to Charlotte, which, in all honesty, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad selection when we look at it, because let's look back at his numbers at Tennessee, man. Remember, in 13 games, the man put up 38 tackles, 13 for loss, with 7.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. He was a beast at Tennessee. He was also first team All-SEC, which was the second year in a row, and he knows how to get to the quarterback. He knew how to disrupt the run. He knew how to be a force on the defensive side of the ball. That is no doubt there. And then at the combine, he showed out running a 4.4 740. He ran a 1.56 10-yard split. Then he had a 31-inch vert and a 10-foot 3-inch long broad jump. He didn't do no bench press reps, but that's okay. That's honestly okay, because you know what? Sometimes bench is just a form thing. You don't want to look bad. So I get it. But overall, guys, when I look at the man, I think he is a great edge rush pick. He is a really good to great edge rush pick. There is no way you can deny that, honestly. He's a strong power rusher with a strong motor, but I will admit, the kid does move kind of linear in a straight line, but it doesn't matter because he's still able to disrupt the offense and get to his target. One thing I did see is that Mel Kiper, as of today, projected him to go 28th to the Detroit Lions. Now, we have said, or Dan Morgan has said, Carolina is open to trading back, and a lot of you agree with the trade back method from what I'm seeing. And I even admitted in yesterday's video, I'm cool with us trading back to the 21st pick that Pittsburgh has or the 26th with the Rams for the right package. And if that is the case and he's still available, I am more than comfortable for the Carolina Panthers to select James Pearce Jr. at Tennessee and bring him back home. I think it makes sense. I don't see why not. He is a great edge rusher. He can work on his finesse moves, yes. But when it comes down to can he get the job done, he can get the job done. The one thing I will keep in mind, and the one thing I do want to take account of, is because he's coming back home, is coming back home going to be a good thing, or is it going to be a bad thing? Is it going to be a benefit or a distraction? Because let's not forget, in 2023, the man did get arrested for speeding and driving without a license. Now, thankfully, the charges were dropped because he was able to prove, one, that he did have a license and he did pay off the speeding ticket. So I'm thankful for that. That was his only off-field incident. But what I don't want to happen is for him to come back home and to get involved with the bad side of town of people in his hometown just by accident or anything. I'm not saying the man hangs out with bad people back home. I just would hate for him to get caught up because he's back home, because we've seen that happen to athletes before. But we've also seen great things happen to athletes who play for their hometown, and that's what I would love for him to do. He's from Charlotte. It makes sense. I would love for him and his support system to keep him on the straight and narrow and for him to flourish in Charlotte as a Panther. It would be beautiful. But another thing, speaking on trade and draft night, I saw an article on Sports Illustrated today that talked about a potential trade between the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers for one Kavon Thibodeaux. Now, the source Sports Illustrated was using was from Mr. Mike Luciano of G-Men HQ. And here's what Mike actually had to say about the trade and about what could happen with the Giants and the Panthers. He said the Panthers are still very much in talent acquisition mode as they try to revamp one of the worst defensive rosters in football. Thibodeaux and Jadeveon Clowney would be a solid pass rush duo on the outside, with both of them being able to play the run and explode from wider positions. Now, as we look at Thibodeaux's career, think about this. Thibodeaux, so far in his career, he's played 43 games. He has 127 total tackles. He's got 26 for loss, 21 sacks, 6 forced fumbles. The man is a dog. He is an athlete. We cannot deny this. Now, he was injured last year with a wrist injury, which limited him to 12 games, then the full 17. So keep that into mind. Keep that in mind. Take that for what it's worth. However, when it's all said and done, Kavon Thibodeaux is a great talent. I cannot deny that. You can't deny that. Nobody can, really. Or if you want to say he's only a good talent, cool. I'll let you say that. He's effective on the D-line, and he makes his presence known. Now, I will say this. I don't like the idea of this trade for a few reasons. One, Kavon Thibodeaux is coming up on the final year of his rookie contract. If he goes out here and performs the way we expect him to perform, he is going to want to get paid next season. You're going to have to pay him or he walks. And then if he walks, not only have you lost trade assets, you've also lost that player too. So it's losing the player and potential trade assets. It's a double whammy. I don't like that idea. Now, I say that because for the number he's going to earn if he does everything, it's going to be a tough thing. It's going to be a tough deal. Plus, financially, are we going to be in a position to pay him what he's worth? Are we going to be able to structure that deal? Like, that is a legitimate question I think we could ask if we're going to be able to do that. I'm not 100% sure we'd be able to give him what he'd be worth or what he might be asking for. 2, I definitely think we can get a rookie in this draft class to put out the same output that Kavon Thibodeaux does. And I think that helps us as a franchise better in the long run. Because you get a rookie on this rookie deal. Now you have these 3, 4, 5 years to bring in other assets that financially help the team, that financially put us at a great time before it's time to re-sign those rookies. That is why I think we shouldn't do this, because if we can get somebody like that to match what Kavon Thibodeaux does, but for cheaper, that's a benefit. That is a steal. And third, this is more so because Luciano didn't lay this out. I don't like the unknowns. He didn't lay out what the trade package was. He just laid out a potential idea of Thibodeaux being traded to Carolina. I want to know what the trade package would be before I would be comfortable with Carolina just signing off and confirming that trade. That's just me. Because there are no unknowns, I don't like that. I don't know how that makes y'all feel. I don't know how that makes anybody else feel, but to me, I would like to know what Carolina has to give up in order to gain Thibodeaux, and what else are they gaining outside of Thibodeaux? If it's just Thibodeaux, what are we giving up for that? I need to know that question, because at the end of the day, Thibodeaux is a great talent. He is a phenomenal player. But right now, I think building through the draft is better financially for the team, as well as it sets the foundational pieces for the franchise. Because now you're having players who have been here since day one, who have become your foundational piece that you are building around or utilizing to build up a great team. And you're doing it in the best way possible. I don't think this should be a trade that should happen, but I could be wrong. Y'all tell me about that one. I want to hear y'all thoughts on that, truth be told. And lastly, I saw this question being asked because I saw an article online talking about it, but Who do y'all think is the greatest Panther of all time? Reason why I'm asking this question is because Athlon Sports just released their top 30 Carolina Panthers list of all time. Well, they've been releasing it, and the top 5 just finally came out, has concluded. The list is now official, and I want y'all to see who they had in the top 5 and tell me what your thoughts. So, top 5 Carolina Panthers of all time they had. The list goes: Sam Mills at number 5, Luke Kuechly at number 4, Steve Smith Sr. at number 3, Cam Newton at number 2, and Julius Peppers at number 1. And then, because I know some of you are curious, I know some of you want to know, to round out the top 10, you have Thomas Davis Sr. at 6, Jake Delhomme at 7, Musa Muhammad at 8, Ryan Khalil at 9, and Greg Olsen at 10. Man, that is a lot to unpack. First things first, and I do want to say this, I was actually really shocked that none of the running backs were actually on that list. Hold up. Yep. I was very shocked that Stewart, Williams, Foster, nor Davis made the top 10 of that part. Now, they made the list, but I was shocked that none of them made the top 10, which that's just me. 3 of those 4 are our all-time leading rushers, so I was expecting at least one of them to be in the top 10. But I digress, because overall, I'm not mad at the selections. I am happy to see Ryan Khalil get his love and his praise, because centers, tackles, guards, they don't get enough love, bro. We all know this. The big boys up front do not get enough love, and we got to show the big boys more love. We really do, because without the line, nothing gets done. We've seen that. We've seen that a lot. But we do have to give Ryan Khalil his praise. I personally would like to have seen one of the running backs in there, and I don't know who I'd switch out. So I guess they're just outside looking in. And then not only that, when I look at this top 5 again, right here, to me, this top 5, I feel like you could put any one of these individuals at the one spot, because it would be based off your generation and what side of the ball you loved most. If you loved offense more and you grew up watching Steve Smith before Cam, I feel like you'd put Steve Smith 1. If you were a kid and you grew up watching Cam Newton, I feel like you'd put Cam 1. If you grew up and you loved defense more and you grew up in the Julius Peppers 03 era, then you have Julius Peppers at 1. If you grew up in the Luke Kuechly era, you have Luke Kuechly at 1. If you grew up in the Sam Mills era, you have Sam Mills at 1. I genuinely think every single one of these guys have a legitimate gripe and legitimate argument to be the number 1 Carolina Panther of all time. I think the top 5 is right. Now, whatever order you want to put it in is up to y'all. Leave that in the comment section below, because now I'm curious. I want to hear what y'all have to say. Who would y'all pick? Honestly, give your whole top 10 if you have, because that's all I have for y'all today. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, guys. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you always get notified when these videos drop. And leave a comment about who you think the greatest Panther is. Would you love to see James Pearce Jr. back home in a Carolina uniform, or would you love to trade back and get Kavon Thibodeaux in the draft? Because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you, Panther Nation. Take care, later days, and keep pounding. I'll see you next time.